not John or Jeremy. Those guys are in Kentucky right now at the ROMP Festival in Owensboro. So you're stuck with us for today, and hopefully we can show you some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I think we have Tyler who's kind of watching some of the comments over here on the computer, and I'll try and answer stuff as things come through. But yeah, so as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, we have our new Martin wall here. And it is lacking a few things because this is just our first shipment from them. And also there are a few things that went to ROMP in Kentucky for this week. But I kind of wanted to go over a few of my new favorite guitars in the store. Not just Martins, but since we have some awesome new Martins in here, I wanted to show off a few that I really, really liked. So the first one I got here is the D28 Satin Finish. This guitar is awesome. It sounds fantastic, just like you would expect from most D28s in the standard series, and I like it a lot. I'll play it a little bit here. You probably heard John play this at some point or another. Yeah, this guitar is fantastic. I've always wanted a D28, and I'm kind of drawn to this satin finish one. I think it's fantastic. It sounds awesome. And yeah, so this would be my first choice of the guitars here I wanted to show you all. Do we have any?
We have some people asking if we have any Little Janes in.
And a lot of people
we do.
Hear the intro for whatever reason. If you want to explain where everybody else is.
Oh yeah. So if you didn't hear the intro, everybody's in. Well, not everybody, but most of the people, the guys that you typically see, John, Jeremy, Jason, and so forth, are at ROMP Festival in Owensboro, Kentucky right now. So me, Tyler, and probably Austin too are going to kind of take over. Takeover Thursday? No, that's not right. New Guitar Thursday. We take over on New Guitar Thursday. So someone was asking about the Ferk Little Jane. We do have one in. These are awesome travel guitars. If you guys have never had a chance to see how these work, I'll go ahead and talk about this real quick. So you have like a little quick release thing here on the back, and you can pop it off just like that. Pop off the neck, and look at that. You don't have a guitar anymore. Now you just have a bunch of wood and a backpack. But the cool thing is you can pop that right back on. Do this here. And then it's right back in tune. So these are really cool. These are the Ferk Little Jane. These are made out of cedar and African mahogany, I believe. It's even got this cool little sound port that you can actually tuck the neck inside. So it all folds up into this little bag here that we just have it leaning on at the moment. That's the Ferk Little Jane. Yeah, those are sweet, really cool backpacking guitars. Speaking of backpacking guitars, we do have one of these. This is the Martin Backpacker. This is not a bluegrass instrument, I would say. However, it can play bluegrass music. So we'll go ahead and try that real quick. Contours to the body nicely. Also doubles as an oar for a canoe, so that's one of the big pluses for one of these.
Hinkley's here.
Hey, Hinkley.
Of course, somebody did ask, they want to know what feedback we've got on the Little Janes. I guess what people have thought about them after they bought them.
Yeah, so the types of feedback we've had on the Little Janes, we've sold quite a few of them. I recently sold a Firk Little Jane to a fellow in Minnesota, and his whole purpose for that guitar was to be taking it around on flights with him because it would fit just really, really well for carry-on luggage or also in the above compartment on airplanes. And I remember hearing back from him saying that he had just a really positive experience with flying with it. So some of these guitars are a little bit of a compromise, right? The Little Jane is meant to be comfortable, smaller, and still have a good sound to it, while also being collapsible, or at least semi-modular, I guess you could call it, because you still do have the strings attached to the headstock, but you can kind of tuck those away into the backpack. So yeah, we've had really good response on the Firk Little Janes. They always sell really well, and they're awesome guitars to be traveling with. All right, let's see here.
Got another question.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to know how the Little Jane compares to a Dread Junior or the Triple O Junior that we have.
Sure, yeah. Let's see if we take a look at one of the Dread Juniors here. I think I got one right here.
We got a Triple O Junior too.
We also have, who was it asking? Vince is asking if we're filming on a camera on a smartphone. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
The big equipment is at ROMP today. So it's just me running the live stream.
So this is the Dreadnought Junior here. This is, I don't know the exact dimensions of this right offhand, but I would assume it's probably 3/4 sized, roughly, guitar. So you still kind of have a little bit of that Dreadnought feel here. It's not nearly as close to that kind of 14.5-inch lower bout or what have you. But this has much more of a kind of probably depth to it, and it feels like a little bit more of a, I guess you could call it a Dreadnought type of sound in a smaller body. So these are really cool as well. Now these aren't modular. You can't take them apart necessarily. I guess you could if you wanted to, but it would be a lot harder than the Little Jane, and probably not recommended. However, they do make, what is this, the SC13, I believe?
We do have someone asking the price on the small Martin Dread.
Oh yeah, these are right at $5.99. And they do have a little gig bag with them that's really nice too.
The Junior's two ahead of that one, Corey, if you're looking for that. The Junior Triple O.
This guy?
One more. There you go.
Yeah. And then we got the Junior Triple O. So this one is going to be $749. With these guys, we have just an all Sapele style guitar. A little bit more of like that 3/4 size too. And feel and everything. These are great little guitars too. Much warmer than the Dreadnought Junior, which I would expect from out of an all mahogany guitar for sure. One of my favorite other new Martins here, I'm going to go through a few more and then I'll pass over to one of the other guys here. I really like these Triple O 15s. This is just a really cool, really great sounding guitar. This is the Triple O 15M. So as I'm sure a lot of you probably know, this is an all mahogany guitar. But when you couple that all mahogany with the Martin sound, it somehow gives like this really great depth. That's really nice. So those are a few of my favorite Martins that have come in so far. The D28 satin finish is an excellent sounding guitar.
We did have someone ask you about the
yeah.
D18.
Oh yeah, we don't have any D18s with us here at this very moment. We do have a Street Legend that was taken to ROMP, I believe.
That was a 28.
That was a 28.
We have a D18. I think John said we're probably a few weeks away from getting our first.
Yep. So we had a 1937 authentic D18, which was a really great sounding guitar. Unfortunately, it had to be sent back. There were a couple issues with it, but we're getting another one replaced. And I imagine that we're going to have a whole line of D18s coming here shortly. This is just our very first shipment of everything that came in, which is, as you can see, is quite a lot of stuff. But we're still waiting on some of the standard series stuff outside of the D28s that we got. But this is a fantastic all mahogany guitar for those of you out there who are looking for a triple O in an all mahogany. And then, all right, one more Martin, and then I'll show you an E10 that I really like. This is the X series. This is the DX2 with the Brazilian rosewood laminate on the back, which looks awesome. And for somebody who wants a guitar that you don't have to worry about quite as much with humidity and temperature and all of that, while still getting that kind of look of the Brazilian rosewood, I actually think these are really, really cool, and they sound really good too. They're really great sounding guitars. Really got quite a lot of depth to it, and that's one of the reasons why I liked it so much. It's set up really, really well. I think it has lights on it right now. Yeah. So that's the DX2 with Brazilian veneer.
Before you get into Eastman, somebody did request if we asked if we had a Ferk yellow OM, and we have one.
Yeah, well, all right. So this is the first time I've seen this. Is this brand new?
Yes.
We just got this? All right. So we got a Ferk yellow OM here. This appears to be mahogany back and sides with what looks like maple binding.
I think so.
Maple bound back and sides, which is really cool. I love that. And then we have a, what I would assume is also a Sitka spruce top with the clear pick guard here. I really like these dots here on the fretboard, these fretboard markers. I think those are kind of cool, like little circles.
Little Cheerios.
Little Cheerios. Yeah, let's see what it sounds like. Great sounding guitar. Yeah, cool. Well, this is the Ferk Yellow. I did not know we had this until just now, so it's always fun to get little surprises It's honestly one of the most fun things about working in the store is like some days I'll show up and there's just like the coolest guitar or mandolin here that I did not even know was going to be here. And so yeah, this is the Firk Yellow. This is a great sounding guitar.
Paduke? Is that how you say that wood?
Paduke
I think that's how you pronounce that.
on the back and sides?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Paduke back and sides. It looked like mahogany to me, but it's probably a mahogany style wood. All right, a couple other quick things, and then
Real
I'll.
quick, can we get a price on that one?
We'll tell you.
Yep, Tyler will get you the price on it. We have real quick the AC 622 CE Sunburst. These are not normal. These are not like a normal thing that they make. They just made a few of them. So we got this beautiful 622 Sunburst. I don't know if you can see the neck, but the neck looks awesome as well. The gold enclosed Godot tuners, which I love. And then, of course, maple binding with the bevel on the edge, abalone rosette, and then the maple leaf inlay on the fretboard. These are fantastic, fantastic, fantastic guitars. If somebody is looking for a maple, solid maple back and sides guitar with, I believe these are European spruce, European spruce tops, and super, super limited. This is a sunburst, all sunburst that they never ever do. I think we've only ever had one of these before. And
Can
this,
we hear that one play a little bit?
yeah, sure. I'll play this one too.
So Vince is saying we have 130 watching and only 27 likes.
Oh no.
2719 on Perk.
So this is going to be interesting. I have my mic right here, and then the sun port is right up next to it. I'll try
Put it
to.
on your little pocket.
I'll try not to blow out. I'm always amazed by really well-made maple guitars that can, I mean, maple is typically a little bit of a brighter tone wood, and I think that's why it works so well on orchestral instruments and violins, mandolins, and whatnot. But guitars, at least, and this is my opinion, I don't know if it's everyone's opinion, but guitars can sometimes be a little too bright. But whenever they're done really well, a maple guitar can be a really, really wonderful thing, and this one actually sounds great. It's super responsive and resonant, has some of that brightness and articulation, which I would like to see, which one of the pros or the characteristics of a maple guitar that I like a lot is you do get really kind of accentuated, almost bright tones. And this is a really good one. This is a really nice 622 that we have here.
Price on that one?
Yeah, the price on these guys is $1,999. $1,999, so right at $2,000. This is one of the ones that has a bolt-on structured neck, the tone-tight system, as labeled kind of by Bourgeois there. But those are meant for easy access for any neck issues in the future, which all guitars eventually will have some form of a neck adjustment needing to be done.
Well, since everyone's over here, you want to trade off?
Yeah, sure. There we go.
Say goodbye, Corey.
Goodbye, Corey. There we go. Sorry, I've just been reading some of the comments and some of the questions. I think we've answered most. I saw a couple questions about the asking the price. If you didn't hear on the Firk, is $27.19. I think that was Gregory asking. So yeah. So Corey's covered a lot of the stuff that I was going to talk about too. Of course, did you cover the E10? I don't think you talked about it. No. Yeah. So we got in we did get in a nice E10 TC. These are probably my favorite guitars on Eastman's lineup. Just they're always very consistent, great sounding guitars. Of course, torfied Adirondack, or thermocured Adirondack, and then mahogany back inside, excuse me. And yeah, always a great playing, great sounding guitar. Something like that. But yeah, really great. Just got this in. Of course, these are $15.59 on the E10s. Again, really great. A lot of features for a great value. And then another thing I guess we should probably talk about is we got in PCH mandolins from Eastman. So we've got the standard here. And so, of course, this is a flat top mandolin. And of course, I'm sure they showed these off on the live stream. A flat top, pretty deep body on these. This is my first time really getting to put my hands on one. But flat top, solid top, laminate back and sides, oval hole. But kind of reminiscent of the old Gibson All Rights and things along that line. So got that in the standard, and then they also offer in a Goldburst top, which is really nice. And these do sound really fantastic. This deep body gives them a really great tone. And of course, I'm not really a mandolin player, but it's got a really nice low end. You really wouldn't expect out of a mandolin, but it's really cool mandolins. Price on these is $3.99, which is a really great value. Again, it's a pretty simple instrument. Being a flat top, they're not having to do all the carving and things you'd see like you'd expect out of like a F or standard A style. So really great value, really cool mandolins there. So, do we have any other questions?
I did see one.
Okay.
I saw somebody asking about an Eastman jazz box.
Jazz box. I saw a question about that. I'm not sure which one we got in. I know we have one of these here, which is a AR 605 CED, so big full body. 2 pickups on this one. A lot of the ones we get in are just a single pickup, but this is a true hollow body with 2 pickups, so gives you a little bit more tonal options there. And of course, you got a wood pick guard, tailpiece, and even knobs on that. But really cool guitar. Price on something like this is $23.99. A really great jazz guitar. I can't really play jazz, but it's a cool guitar for sure. Doesn't make a whole lot of sound, not plugged in either. So, but a really cool guitar here as far as the jazz box goes.
What was the model of mandolin that you said had the low end?
Oh, it was the new Eastman PCH. I think it's a 104. I think is what they're calling that. I can double check that, but it's the oval hole flat top mandolins that they just released. We just got in our first shipment of them that I was just kind of showing off in there. So really great low end, especially for a laminate back and side. So I was really impressed by that. Any other questions or?
I'm looking right now. I don't think there's questions. We got a lot of comments coming.
A lot of comments?
Looking at the amazing guitars, looking at the live stream, I feel like a kid in a candy store.
Well, we have a lot of great guitars, and like Corey mentioned too, the Chapmans are at ROMP right now. So if you are in Owensboro, Kentucky, or in the general area, go to ROMP and check out the shop there and check out all the good music. I think Dierks Bentley's the headliner, so kind of interesting for a bluegrass festival. If you like all sorts of music, it's a really cool festival to go to. I know it's always a good turnout. So if you're in that area or need something to do this weekend, go to ROMP. So
we have some questions coming in now.
Okay.
Any archtop guitars? Which
showed that one there. The only other one we have right now is this. This is a Finocchio. They took this in on a trade through Merlefest, I believe. But yeah, again, another nice archtop guitar, really high-end guitar, super light. This one right here is $23.99 as well. But I do know this guitar new was quite a bit more than that. So another really cool guitar here. It's got flat wounds on it right now, so really nice and dull sound, or not dull, but kind of subtle sound, I guess. Sounds like flat wounds. So, but that's I guess that's pretty much the only 2 archtops that we have in currently.
We do have Vince wondering if we got his bridge pins.
He ordered wants bone bridge pins, right?
I think that's what it was. I'd have
Yeah.
to scroll back to find the original.
I don't
comment.
know. I think I think I saw some may have come in, but I don't know for sure. I'd have to check with Emily, who does all our receiving, and see. But we do not have any currently ready to go. But as soon as we do, we'll let you know.
Any E20Ds?
We do not have any E20Ds. We sold our last one yesterday or a day before. I can't remember which one. And since we had one in, John hadn't ordered another one. We got our Eastman shipment in, so there wasn't one on this shipment. So we are currently without a E20D. We will be getting more. Those are one of the most popular ones for us, so we'll definitely get more of those. But we do not have one right at this moment.
Do you have an Atkin D37?
We do not have a D37. We do have a white rice that's an Adirondack top, but it is at ROMP, so we can't show it off. But we do have that. Really cool with Adirondack top, really loud, really great sounding guitar.
I think that was all the ones that people were asking about.
We did have one, somebody was asking for the John Mayer OM. Haven't gotten that in yet.
No, I think we do have one on the way. I don't know when
Would you
we're.
repeat that one? He's
Oh,
not
sorry. Yeah, so somebody was asking about a John Mayer OM from Martin. We don't have that in. With the kind of this order that we made with Martin, they're just going to kind of steadily roll things in throughout the next few months as we get these in. So we don't have that yet, but we will be getting one of those eventually. I don't know an ETA on that though, but we do have one on order.
Okay. Were there any more that you saw?
I think that was it so far as instruments.
I guess I can show off. I know Corey covered a lot of the Martin stuff, but I can show off maybe a couple that he didn't cover, just for stuff that I've seen that I've liked that's kind of surprised me. Let's see. He showed off the D28 Satin, which I thought thought's a great guitar. I know he showed off the 15. This is a guitar that surprised me when I saw it, because I saw these when they first released these with a Koa back insides. And I wasn't a huge fan, but now that they've got the Zero Cody, and I really like this kind of gold burst color. I don't know what they officially call it, but this guitar surprised me when I first played it when it came in. This is perfect for somebody that does play up the neck, so maybe more of your electric guitar player, if you need kind of that access way up the neck and or don't like a big bulky, even with a cutaway, it's not quite enough. This gives you a lot of hand access because it just sits perfect all the way up to that very last fret. Has an LR Bags, looks like Element in it, and really a great sounding guitar. A little bit out of tune, but yeah, these play super well. They got a really intricate neck system here. As you can kind of see, there's a couple different things here, and you can even see kind of this pocket here. Gives you a lot of adjustability for your setup, how you like things. If you like super low action, if you like it a little bit higher, depending on what you kind of like, that has a lot of adjustability, more so than what you ever see from Martin or pretty much almost any acoustic guitars. So that's really cool. It's one thing I always appreciate about Martin is, as traditional and as great as their legacy is, they're always trying to innovate, and I really appreciate that. Another one I like is this, just part of their Road series. So this is their version. So this was pretty much, in a long-about way, this is the very first guitar I ever got when I started playing guitar, was pretty much this model, or what this became. I got one of the last years that they built it in the U.S. This is built in Mexico, and it does have their pickup system in it, which has a tuner built in it down here, and then you got controls up here on the top. I don't know, let me see if I can turn that tuner on so you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. So that's really neat. I think that's really great for, if this is a first guitar, if you're a gigging musician and you don't want to have to carry a pedal tuner, you just want to be able to plug straight into like a DI box kind of thing. Really great for that. Really great playing Sapele back and sides on this with a Sitka top. Like I said, this is pretty much the very first Martin I ever got when I was a kid. It's just kind of changed a little bit, and they've changed the number. Mine was called a D1 when I got it. So I've always liked these guitars. I've always thought they're really great too. So. So yeah, that's another good one. This is called a D10, I believe is what this one's called nowadays. Yeah, D10E. So
Vince would like to see. Oh wait, sorry, wrong comment.
Okay.
Where was that comment? I saw somebody asking for the FS9. Rich would like to see the FS9.
FS9. Let's see. Do we have one in here? Don't know if we. I don't. We have an FG9. I don't know if we have an FS9 currently in. If we do, it may be at ROMP. Austin, do we have an FS9 in store?
I don't think we have one in store. We have a mahogany, which might be next door.
Okay.
Check.
Okay, so we don't have one actually in the store. I think Austin's going to check and see if it's in our back stock, but we don't have one right here available right this second. We do have an FG9. I can show you that real fast, which it's been here. Not terribly long, but it has been here. Of course, it's the same features on the FS9, just different body size. And I think Austin said the one we have is a mahogany. So Adirondack top on this one, and then a mahogany back and sides. Again, these are really fantastic guitars. I love how subtle these guitars are. It's one of those things that it's not so in your face in the fact that you can look at this guitar multiple times over different periods and see things you didn't see before. So these wood bindings in here, this kind of rope trim that they do. You start to notice little subtleties that you don't always pick up when you first catch it. Even just like the FG inlaid here, that's just super cool. So these are really great guitars. We've been really impressed by them. I think it's one of the best guitars and really a really good value at $4,000 for what you get for this guitar. I believe they do. Yeah, they do a bolt-on neck system on these, which is, there's always the debate about bolt-on versus dovetail, and I think there is a good argument for bolt-on just for the sake of maintenance over time. You don't have to worry about it quite as much. It's not near as invasive to do a neck reset. So there is that benefit. I think Austin just brought over the FS9, so I can show it off as well and let you hear it. So let's grab that real fast. It's probably out of tune, but we'll fix that.
And I have the JB Cormier.
Oh, we got a Cormier. Okay, cool.
Clyde was asking for that. So.
Very nice. Let's go ahead and take out the FS9, see what it looks like, see what it sounds like. This one. I don't know why this case won't open. There we go. Yeah, that's true. Breaking the seal. Did you get your shoe tied?
I did get my shoe tied.
Okay, so again, pretty much everything like we were just talking about is exactly the same except for the body size. This is their concert size or small guitar, FS. Very lightweight on this guitar. I know sometimes even a bolt-on neck can be a bit heavy. This doesn't add any kind of extra weight, which is really nice. But just to kind of let you hear this one, I'll take a seat and play it, make it a little bit easier. Yeah, really great sounding guitar, very balanced. Kind of what you'd expect out of a mahogany guitar. It's a lot of volume for a smaller guitar too. So really impressive guitars. These have been really popular since they were released about a week and a half ago now. So, but yeah, we've got one of these in. This is the mahogany version, like I said. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to call the shop, 417-720-1223. And then, or I guess we'll show off the JP as well. I did not realize we got one of those in, so we'll show that off as well.
And we do have Clyde asking how much for the JP as well.
Okay, I don't know right offhand, but I'm sure we'll find that out. All right, okay, so we got a JP without the pick guard attached. It's in the case here, which I think most people are used to seeing, kind of that big kind of Gibson style pick guard on there, but this one is shipped without it, which is kind of cool. So it gives you that option. It really kind of changes the vibe of the guitar, I think, because it does. That is a very large pick guard, so it's cool to see just the whole top, because Mouchet always has some of the best tops just ever. So let's $59.99 on this guitar. really great sounding guitar. Again, another guitar that's kind of small, but also has a lot more volume than it does size, which is really cool. So makes for a comfortable guitar. Got the cutaway here, of course. Really fantastic. These are always great. Boucher's always great. JP's great. So he knows a good guitar. So it makes sense why he chose a lot of the things he did. You know, it's interesting being a 12 fret, but you do have the cutaway, so you can kind of get a little bit further than that too. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, so $59.99 on this guitar here.
Is it a double O or triple O?
I believe this classifies as a double O, if I remember right. I don't think it's a triple O, or if it's a triple O, it's a 12 fret. I can't remember. What do they call this? They call it a JP 1079. I don't know. I'd have to check and see what this technically classifies at, but I think it's maybe it's a 12 fret triple O. That sounds right. So, but we could definitely check and see, but I don't know right offhand which it truly classifies at. The 12 fret throws me off, so I'm not sure. So, triple O. Okay, so it is a triple O 12 fret.
We have a request to play Holiday Road by Lindsey Buckingham.
I don't know how to play that song, but I know the song you're talking about. It's a great classic movie song. You hear it all the time, but I don't know how to play that one.
Okay.
You have a question, Tyler. What is your favorite bluegrass guitar in the shop?
Favorite bluegrass guitar in the shop?
Ooh, the E10's a great one. If we're talking like no limits, it's probably one of the Bourgeois or something along those lines. Let's see. Bedell makes it, or the Bedell's a great one too. If I had to just pick my favorite, just overall, I think this one's a really good. This is kind of the bluegrasser's guitar. Of course, you get into the large sound hole, kind of the Rice style. This is in a figured sinker mahogany though, so it's not quite a 28, but you get the 28 appointments. Bourgeois makes a really great guitar. But yeah, so that would probably be this one. This is it's an heirloom. It's not a country boy, but it's a mahogany heirloom, large sound hole, Adirondack sinker mahogany. So. Very loud guitar. Yeah, very cool guitar. I'm a big fan of large sound holes. I've got one myself, and I've got a D18. So this is kind of the cross between two of my go-to guitars all the time. So yeah, very cool guitar. This one is 10849. So it's up there, but it is a really fantastic, probably the best bluegrass guitar we have in the shop at the moment. So
People saying that is a big sound.
it is a very big sound. There's a lot of debate on the large sound hole thing too. Some people like it, some people don't. I like it. I don't like it on every guitar, but I like it on some, and that's one I think it sounds good on. So.
John Hicks is nervous because we did not latch the cases back up. We will get there.
Well, one's on the floor. The other one, it's pretty secure. But actually, I did latch at least two of the latches on the Yamaha, so they'll be all right. We'll make sure that they don't get picked up before they're latched. So.
Let's hear the Maple Dread GR Boucher.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another great guitar. This is probably one of the guitars that surprises me the most when it came in, just for the sake of what you get out of it for a maple guitar. Typically, we think of maple as being a pretty bright guitar. This one has a lot of great balance. It's kind of, I think it's almost mahogany-like with just like this nice kind of just top-end thing that you don't get out of a typical mahogany. It's definitely not as bassy as like a rosewood, but that's kind of the best way I know to describe it. So it kind of gives you just this nice little bit of clarity on top of a really nice balanced sound. very great, very good guitar. Again, it's got the kind of the big Gibson E pick guard on it. Got these kind of, I don't know what they call these inlays, but they're very cool looking too. Definitely not your typical dreadnought appointments with the like snowflakes or dots and just a standard kind of teardropish pick guard, but really beautiful maple on this one. 5A, all torrefied top, back, and sides on this one, and then a mahogany neck. So maybe that there may be a claim to that as far as like why this one has kind of the tone it does is the mahogany kind of tones it down a little bit, but yeah, I think this is a really great guitar. I don't see any reason why you couldn't use this in any kind of bluegrass setting, anything that you wanted, which really surprised me. I didn't expect it to I really didn't expect these guitars to sound like this when they first said they were going to do these. So, but yeah, that is the Maple Boucher. Another really good guitar. We got so many good guitars. It's really hard to just pick one, and because they're all good at different things. So.
I don't know if Austin had any more that we haven't gone over. We have gone over a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to take a turn or if we already covered everything.
There's a couple of questions which I can walk through if you like.
Sure.
Hand over the mic.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. With the Chapmans out, we do have a ton of awesome guitars. I saw somebody mentioning the Laureate series and was asking if we had OMs and dreadnoughts. We certainly do. If you have yet to experience the Laureate, this is the reason we got Alvarez into the shop. We were so impressed with their build quality, their price points. They're super comfortable. They sound great, and they have some awesome finishes. I believe this one's called the Daybreak, and I really like how subtle that burst is, if you can see it. It's just super subtle, really nice. And of course, Alvarez are known for being super comfortable. And yeah, these things are awesome. So the Laureates, we definitely have those in. Give us a call if you're interested in those. Another hot item that we can never keep in is the Eastman AC 330. These are, to me, I think the best 12 strings on the market. They're like $1,100. But I think the killer thing right now is this isn't going to last long, and this one snuck through. We haven't been seeing a lot of it, but there it is again, Eastman's Flame Mahogany. I'm speechless over this batch of woods that they've had. So if you're in the market for a 12-string, the AC 330 Eastman is amazing, and this one in particular is beautiful. And then other than that, I think the guys covered most of the Martins. All of them are awesome that I've been able to play so far. They are new, so I've only been through about half of them. I think the one that I stood out the most to me, because we've played a lot of Martins, is the, I'm going to get the model wrong, is it the SC13? The SC13E. Super modern build, kind of a little bit of a grand auditorium body style, but super comfortable. The neck joint allows you so much access up the neck. The finish is beautiful. And yeah, I just think that they're awesome. I mean, it's definitely kind of a new world for me, a new guitar I've never played before. And I'm really surprised and also really elated that Martin is pushing the envelope of guitar building and not just doing the same thing, Dreadnought, that we know and love, but they're trying all kinds of things in their building. So that was really cool to see as well. But yeah, other than that, man, we've got a ton of great guitars. We could do this for hours. So if you have any questions about any of the guitars you see, or if you're in the search for some and you just have questions about guitars in general, feel free to give us a call here at the shop, 417-720-1223. And yeah, we love this stuff, man. We'll talk guitars all day long. So give us a shout. Clyde, if you're interested in that Boucher, that is our first JP, I believe. So that thing's awesome. Give us a shout on that. And then, yeah, anything you guys need, just let us know. And yeah, we'll keep the Chapmans in our wishes out there at ROMP, and hopefully they don't melt to death over this heat dome over them. But if you guys are out there in Kentucky and you see them, say hi for us from the shop. And yeah, until next time, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you, I guess, on Takeover Tuesday. All right, guys.